Hola, amigos, and welcome to Spain Impossible. I am your host, Jim, and today we are talking October updates. So, we're going to talk about Spain, we're going to talk about uh, weight loss, and we're going to talk about debt. So, let's dive right in. Today, I'm in my bedroom because I didn't have a better place to film at the moment. So, please excuse the mess. Getting ready to go back on the road here, so I was going through my clothes. And let's jump right into the debt. The debt is the debt. Right now, my focus is more on the diet. Just like with Spain, my focus is more on the blueprint. I've got to get this weight off, and I'm doing good. And we'll get to the weight loss in just a minute. But it's pretty much minimum payments, and I'm making a little bit extra on a card every month. So there's not really a whole lot of movement yet, but there will be coming. So it's not moving as quickly as I want it to, but hey, I'm sure you can relate to that because life always makes it interesting, doesn't it? Anyways, so that's the debt in a nutshell right now. We will be making more and more progress as in the future as things progress. Obviously, there's going to be a time where the payments are going to pick up and we're going to be throwing a lot more on the debt, stuff like that. There'll be a lot more news on that coming. So like I always say, come along for the journey, right? I look at my YouTube analytics and like 89% of people are not subscribed. Why the hell not? Subscribe to the channel. You'll catch all of it. If you don't like some of it, just don't watch some of it. If moving to Spain isn't for you, don't watch those videos. If you're interested in the weight loss, watch those videos. If you're interested in, the debt snowball and it's not progressing along fast enough for you right now, then hey, stay tuned, but subscribe so that you don't miss it. And you know what? You can look at the thumbnail when it comes up in your feed and you can go, don't want to watch that. Whatever it is. But if you're subscribed, you'll know what's coming out. Got a lot of videos that are coming out this week. I'm using kind of a strategy, if you will. I've finally gotten my subscribers up to over 80, which is really cool. I know it's not a lot, but for me, where I was stuck in the 20s for a long time, to see it jump up to 80 over the last month has been awesome. And that's because of you guys, and I appreciate that. So let's see if we can keep that subscriber number growing. There are a lot of things that I cover on here, and right now a lot of it is the weight loss. Why is that? Because I am in that daily, moment to moment. I am in that weight loss, in that blueprint, and I'm doing freaking phenomenal. Today is the end of week 29. It is November 2nd. You know me, I stumble over my words. And tomorrow we start week 30. I am down 82 pounds. Haven't had the stellarest last couple of weeks, but hey, man, it's all good. So let's jump into the weight loss. What did I lose in October from October 1st to November 1st? Was 11.4 pounds. Now, I told you in the last update, I said I wasn't expecting more than 8 to 10 because I'm starting to work some things back in, starting to have some meals outside of the house and stuff. Matter of fact, my wife and I went out to dinner last night to Chili's. And there's not a whole lot at Chili's that fits the blueprint, but that's all right. We went early, so we did the old early bird special for dinner. We ended up eating about 3:45, 4 o'clock, so that was cool. It is the weekend of Halloween, and of course my grandkids and my son and everybody were, out trick-or-treating. I was not here for that. I came home very, very, very wee hours of the morning. I think I got home at like 5:30 Saturday morning. So I'm just here for Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be taking off again on Monday. But it was nice to come home for a couple of days, and I did sneak a couple of the grandkids' candies. I'm going to be honest with you guys here. It's tough, man. Sometimes it's tough. But I had those after the Chili's, so I was like, hey, you know what? I'm having kind of a day here. And I talk about this in the holidays video. I'm having kind of a day here because my wife really wanted to go to Chili's, and I wasn't going to tell her no. And I'd already eaten some stuff that was off the blueprint. I said, you know what? I'm going to sneak a couple candies. And it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Because, it isn't, oh my God, my diet's over. The 82 pounds is going to come back on. None of that here. I'm just sliding right back into the blueprint today, and everything's good as gold. But 11.4 pounds, I actually surprised myself because October was the month where I had my very first week where I showed a gain of weight. And that was the week that I was on the road an extra week and had run out of my food, my blueprint food that I leave here with. And I upped my quantities, so hopefully that doesn't happen again in the future. But I was eating some ultra processed food. Some of those, I don't know what they're called. They're kind of like a ramen dish, because I got to keep things simple. So I had to have something that I could boil some water, put the water in, and I had like a couple of rice cups. I was like, hey, these can't be that bad. They're rice. Well, when they're ultra processed and they're meant to be, just add some water to them and let it sit for 5 minutes. It's not nearly the same rice as the long grain brown rice that you get at the store in the big bag, and you got to cook, a cup at a time with 2 cups of water and cook it for 55 minutes. It's just not the same. And I think in a way it confused my body a little bit because I've been feeding it so much nutritious food for so long. And then I threw this stuff that's got, chemicals and additives and all these other things in it that we don't understand because they're in some sort of scientific jargon, so you don't know what they are. I couldn't even tell if there was sugar in it because there's like 84 different names for sugar on food labeling. So I ended up showing a weight gain that week. And it wasn't that I was doing awful. It wasn't that I was stuffing myself with, donuts and other things. I was really trying to be mindful and do the things that I felt like I could do. And then I got to the end of that week and I saw that weight gain and I was like, what should I have done differently? And I should have bought a bag of apples because I love apples, and they're, put them right on the shelf, pop one off, gobble up an apple. I should have bought a bag of apples, and I didn't even think about it. So even this deep into the blueprint, my focus was on what can I do that is easy and simple that I can definitely do in the truck, because I didn't want to buy fast food all week long. I mean, it wasn't a money issue for buying the fast food. It was, I know how much crap is in fast food. I mean, it's so hard to make good decisions. And most of the fast food restaurants that I'm around on a regular basis are your basics, like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I've really got to go out of my way looking for a Moe's or a Chipotle or a Qdoba or a Panda Express, or, that I've talked about before, that have some better, more nutritious options available to you. And there are Subways, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big salad guy. I do enjoy the veggie sub once in a great while, and I probably could have done that, but I was just not, like I said, my mind was in kind of the wrong space. I was like, okay, I got to find things I can do in the truck, and I got to find things that I can just add water to, and stuff like that. So looking back, I could have done a lot better than I did that week, and that's disappointing in a way, but it's also showing me that the thought process is coming along, but even at 27, 28, 29, 30 weeks, it's still not ingrained. There's still not that bam, don't even think about it. This bag of apples, this, whatever it was. There were things that I could have done. If I'd gotten a bag of apples and then maybe thought to myself, like, hey, if I can't find a Qdoba or a Moe's or a Panda Express, and even those are iffy, I mean, they're not golden tickets. They're something that's a little bit healthier than, going and having a burger and fries. So, if I would have been a little bit better, maybe I would have opted for the Subway a couple of times. I would have, instead of like the noodle bowl thingies that I ended up buying and the rice thingies that I ended up buying. But I use rice a lot in my meals, so I was like, ooh, rice, no, it's not, man. It's the standard American diet, even in grocery stores. It's awful. It's awful. I'm sorry about the sun. I'm sorry about the lighting. Like I said, I'm in my bedroom. Excuse me, and I'm doing the best that I can to get the information to you guys. So, drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys need information on, because, the holiday video came from a viewer. And he was like, hey, do you got any stuff about the holiday? Perfect idea. Holiday video. It's out. You're going to be able to see it. So, and it talks, wow, that was weird, sun on my nose. Anyways, but that came from one of you. So please keep the comments coming. If you have a question, if you have hey, what about this? I love getting that stuff, and maybe it'll be another video for you guys to watch, and for other people too that may have that same question, but they weren't willing to speak up. So I'm asking you to speak up on behalf of yourself and on behalf of other people that may not want to. So that's the weight loss. I mean, 11.4 pounds. I'm impressed. I got 18 pounds to go, man. 18 pounds. And I'm starting week 30. So I've got 22 more weeks left in a year. And I have 18 pounds to lose. The pressure's off, but that doesn't mean I'm still not trying to bring my brain with me and try to make these good decisions. And I'm still eating mostly my own foods. So I'm still in the blueprint. I'm still doing the things that I've shown you guys on the diet sheets and what I've talked about and the recipes I've shared. But I was really impressed. I was like, wow, I had a week where I was up and I still came out 11.4 pounds down for the week. So my guess is that stuff was just something my body was hanging on to. And sometimes that's going to happen, and it can be frustrating. Believe me, I was frustrated in the moment. But then I just wrapped my head around it and said, we just got to keep going and going and going, and it's not going to stop us from where we're trying to get to. So I hope that helps you. I mean, I'm here doing this stuff, and I want to share that there's good and there's bad. Like, I'm not perfect, okay? Was Chili's a great meal to have yesterday? No, but it's what my wife wanted. So I was like, all right, she's really got a hankering for Chili's. We'll do what we can do, and we'll go early so that we eat early dinner. Because, dinners here in America tend to be so big, and if you wait until 8, 9 o'clock to eat, and you're eating a big meal and then trying to go to bed afterwards, it's just not good. Your digestion's not complete. You're just not creating that gap for that your body needs between eating and sleeping. So, on to the Spain stuff. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of water here. So Spain, a couple months back, I kind of rethought from the Costa del Sol to the Costa del Azahar. Sorry. And I've been doing some more research on some towns in that area. It's north of Valencia. I've been keeping my eye on the weather because, weather's important to me. And they've had some flooding issues and things in Valencia and in that community area. So I've been keeping my eyes on that kind of stuff. And the plan is to, not this January, but the following January, do the Spain trip for 2 weeks at least. And I'm going to spend some time on the Costa del Sol and spend some time on the Costa del Azahar. And I'm going to look at both places, look around at rentals, look at it from the eye of somebody who's going to be moving there. So that trip planning and stuff I'll be covering in the videos and things like that. But I'm really far away from, actually applying for visas and things like that, because all of that paperwork needs to be done like in the last 6 months before you go, or in the 6 months before applying for the visa, because you don't have to get the visa and fly out the next day or anything like that. But it is a process, and I will be sharing all of it with you guys. So another reason to subscribe to the channel, because that stuff will be upcoming. And I've talked with some other creators through comments and things like that about, and they're all like, hey, I wish I would have documented more before I got to Spain. And, that's the whole idea of this channel, is to walk every step and to, find information and share information with you guys. And damn stink bugs, man. You guys get stink bugs? We got them in the northern U.S. and they're freaking gross and disgusting, and one just flew. But that's the whole point of this channel, is to take you guys step by step And where the weight loss and the debt comes into that process is I did not want to go to Spain being more than 100 pounds overweight and barely being able to walk because of my arthritic knees and things like that. So that's where the process began. And that's part of my process of moving to Spain, getting into a healthier lifestyle before I go there and have the better foods and the different lifestyle and the slower pace of life and things like that, and more walking and more riding bikes and things like that, because I'm not going to have a car when I'm there. My intention is to not have a car at all in Spain. Maybe for the journey, the scouting trip, we'll rent a car, whatever. That we'll get to that part. But the other side of that is I don't want to go there with a bunch of credit card debt. So that's the second part of this channel and the second part of the process. Now for you, you may be, your company says, hey, you can work from Spain, go for it, move, set all your stuff up. I'm not in that position. So I have to think about these things and take all of the steps and take a look at all of the different avenues that I have available to me. And one of the things that's really important to me is not carrying a bunch of credit card debt when I move. I want to be debt free and just enjoy life in Spain. I don't want to be having these things weighing on me and waking me up in the middle of the night like, oh my gosh, my credit card payment's due, and things like that, and planning and plotting and scheming and budgeting and rubbing two pennies together to make a quarter, and all the things that I've done raising 6 children, for 28 years, 29 years, whatever it is. I forget now exactly how far it is. I'm sliding down on the bed. This is not the best place to sit and do a video, but this is where I had available to me right now, because the family's downstairs. But I was like, hey, I got to record this video, so let's go. I'm going to go do it in the bedroom. But anyways, so that's the Spain thing. I do apologize that I don't have a load of information to throw at you week in and week out, but the process is 729 days away. So I said I want to be moved by November 1st, 2027, and according to the little countdown timer I have on my phone, today is 729 days before I'm scheduled to move. And so that stuff will continue to be brought, what I'm learning, what I'm finding out, obviously I'm going to share in-depth information, hopefully with some legal experts, from like bureaucracy.es, maybe Pro Spain Consulting, some of these things, because I want to cover all of these topics and know before I go, what taxes are going to be like, what, which visa. And so I'm going to have to explore all of the visas in order to pull together and go, this is the one that I really am the best qualified for. Because there's the ability for us to go there for 90 days without a visa, and maybe that will be somewhere in the future. I don't know. It depends on the 2-week scouting trip and how much I feel like, okay, we've got a good idea of where we want to at least start living in Spain. So but I continue to learn week in and week out, and continue to comb through information and stuff like that. But the weight loss stuff is here right now. That's what the focus is. The debt stuff is going to be the next chapter, so to speak. And then it's going to be a lot of Spain and all of the stuff that goes along with it, from the visas to finding a place to live to taxes to all of those things. And that's going to be that third thing. And then we're going to actually move to Spain, and you guys get to come with me for that. And once I've moved, then it's going to be a lot more of, this is what I love about the town where I live. This is, the town next door. This is the town, up the rail line. This is, where I can get to and stuff like that. And like I've said before, I am a, medieval architecture buff. I just love the stuff. I just want to see all these buildings. So there's going to be trips just to see, what are the 10 best sites in Sevilla? What are the 10 best sites in Zaragoza? What are the 10 best sites in Madrid? What are the 10 best sites in Barcelona? And even in these smaller towns, like, what are the cathedrals and what are the castles and what are the things, that were medieval architecture. So there will be a lot of travel and a lot of stuff on the channel. And I know I've rambled on long enough for today. It's the October update, man. I'm bringing you into the loop. So, hey, that's it for today, guys. Remember, you got to stay in the loop. You got to subscribe, because the content is going to be on those 3 topics, and it's going to continue and it's going to evolve. As we get closer and closer to Spain, it's going to be more and more moving to Spain. Just like right now, we're hard and heavy in the weight loss stuff. And I would encourage you, even if you're not planning to move to Spain, man, who doesn't need to take off 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, 100 pounds? Just dive into the blueprint stuff and fit some of it in. And see if you can get yourself to a healthier place, get your cholesterol down, get your, HbA1c down, get your high blood pressure down. All these things are important to living a healthy, long life and, moving from your 50s into your 60s and not deteriorating, actually getting better. I'm better now at 53 than I was at 52. I was better at 52 than I was at 51. So, what's 54 going to be like next year? I'm going to be even better because the exercise is going to be a lot easier. The exercise is already a lot easier. But if you got value from this, help support this channel. Help keep the blueprint completely free. I don't want to charge anything for it. Buy me a coffee. There's the QR code for you. Otherwise, there's a link in the description down below. Give me the old thumbs up. Tell YouTube, hey, this old fart's got something good to share. And that helps the algorithm spread it out to more people so that they can engage with this content as well. I appreciate all of the people that have subscribed up to this point. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, everybody that's coming to this channel, I know there's going to be a lot of you. So just remember to subscribe, like, drop me a comment. If there's something you have a question about, I won't know unless you tell me. And I cannot give you the answer to your question if you never ask me the question. So comment down below. I will see you guys on the next one. And remember to come along for this journey because it's going to be one hell of a journey. And it already has been. Hasta luego.